See, guys like me don't get a fucking break in life. I'm 14 hours out of fucking surgery and now I'm down here working on my wife's car. Brakes are out on this thing. Power steering pump growling like a son of a bitch. And it's got to be fixed because she lets the kids drive the goddamn thing. And they're not driving my truck. Running the fuckers out of gas every goddamn day. I went and got brake shoes, and some brake cleaner, and some engine degreaser, and some power steering fluid. Trying to get this damn thing fixed tonight. No sooner we got home, I bought a car to go to town and get something to eat. Goddamn refrigerator full of food. Too much fucking work to microwave something though. That's the way it is though. There's a bad brake shoe. Pretty thin. That's the outboard, that's the inboard. They're wearing nice and smooth. They're scraping right there too. So now you got to clean them up really good, brake cleaner, and I'll show you what you got to clean up a little bit. Alright, you got your brake shoes off, you got your caliper off. You got to make sure this is not a screw-in caliper. If it is a screw-in caliper and you do this, you'll screw it up. That caliper should go in stiff, but not to where you've got to really flex, okay? If it goes in really hard, it's bad. It's either bad or you got a bad brake line, not letting the fluid back up. Lay your little absorbent pad down, or a bucket, or a baby seal. I don't care what you use. Spray everything down really good, get all the old nasty brake dust off. Don't get this shit in your eyes because it burns like shit. Okay. Now, you really don't want to hang this thing by the hose, but today I don't give a shit. Okay? Just don't. Now, what you've got to make sure is you see these surfaces right here. Let me zoom in so you blind motherfuckers can see. Okay, these surfaces right here where the brake shoe rides. There and there. Okay, both sides. Both sides. You see this one here has a nick on it. Let me show you. See that nick? What that's from is when you hammer on the fucking brake pedal, these brakes rock this way. And it's jamming on there. If you can feel that nick, what'll happen is when you put your foot on the brake paddle gets stuck in that nick and the brakes will drag. And then all of a sudden they'll pop loose. Okay? So if these are nicked, you've got to get a file, take the brake rotor off and get a file and file them down really smooth, or replace this piece here. There's two 17mm bolts, hold that in. You can see this one's kind of shiny where the brake pad's been running back and forth. They're not nicked. This one here is nice and shiny, it's not nicked. We're in good shape to put it back together. Okay, these are the new brake pads. They're a wee bit thicker than the ones we took off. That's brake cleaner. That's not going to hurt a thing. Okay? You really don't want to lay these down in any oil or grease. This thing stops really smooth and really well. These brake rotors could probably use to be turned, but for right now, they're just getting put back together. Okay, all the hardware, the bolts and everything, move really easy on this thing. Everything's nice and lubricated up. This is the inboard pad, the one with the clips. That goes inside the caliper piston. Okay, these are the hooks that go in here. Okay, you slide that one in and it snaps sometimes. Okay, that one's in. This one goes just like this, just like that. Okay, flip this back around, slip it back together. You want to tighten these bolts down. I'll tighten these down really quick so you can see how them go in. Brake job on this thing takes about 15 minutes, believe it or not. Okay, there's that one. There's that one. I like to tighten them by hand. I don't like to use the air ratchet on them because you get a better feel. Okay, you big ass monkeys, you don't have to crank that son of a bitch so tight that you can't feel your hands anymore. Okay, put your plastic caps back over. The hardest part of this whole job, boy, that's hard on the old neck, is this clip. This is an anti-rattle clip. Hear that brake pad? It keeps that brake pad from rattling. Clean it off so we can actually see the damn thing. Okay? And what it does is it goes up under here and it pulls this caliper down and holds it tight. It can be a royal pain in the ass sometimes. Sometimes it can be your best friend. But more times than not, it's a pain in the ass. Okay, make sure that's all in. This brake job's done, for this side anyways. Okay, see my hands? Alright, that's it. Now I just got to go to the other side and do the exact same thing to the other side. Alright, here's my other pet peeve. How many times you guys ever broke down the side of the road with a flat tire and couldn't get the damn lug nut loose? Standing on the lug wrench, jumping up and down because some 400-pound monkey with a $1,000 air wrench thought he had to hammer the lug nuts through the wheels, okay? These are all started with a wrench. Don't start them with the air gun, okay? Now go back around. That's it, okay? Okay, how hard is that? These things are probably between 90 and 110 pounds, they're supposed to be. This gun will put out probably 300 if I hammer the shit out of it with 175 pounds of air. If you notice, you don't never hear my compressor run. I leave it run to fill it up and pretty much can do this whole brake job with just what air's in that big ass tank, okay? Now if I go to the other side and start putting the lug nuts on and I'm down to 75 pounds, I'll run it for a minute, get it up to about 110. That's all you need, okay? I've never lost a wheel. I've never had one come loose. You know, and if you break down the side of the road, you could take them off with a 1/2-inch ratchet and standing on it. So, all right, that's it. Enough whining. Now remember, when you get in the car, you know, you've squeezed both caliper pistons in. Don't get in there and hammer that brake pedal to the floor to pump it up. Pump it just an inch or two down at a time. If you mash it all the way to the floor, you're going to trigger a brake light. If you trigger the brake light, then you're going to need a computer to damn reset it. So, you know, just tap the pedal, you know, a couple inches down until you get it hard again. And then you'll be good to go. Now, these brake pads will probably take 30-40 miles to break into where they'll start to grab real good. So I wouldn't be tailgating nobody for a couple of days anyways. Okay, we're going to try and get these bolts out of this power steering pump. There's 4 of them. 13 millimeter, or 12 millimeter, I'm sorry. And they're behind this pulley. You go through the 4 holes, okay? Take the 4 bolts out while you got the belt still on it, so it'll stop the pulley from turning, hopefully. Okay, there's one. If you line one up, all 4 of them will be lined up. Okay. Don't try and crank them out the bottom of it with the socket on it because it's not this computer box being in your way. So just get them loose, just like that. Okay? Get that thing back out of there. Now what you can do is take the hardest ones out first. That would be these bottom ones. Okay, let me get back to you. Once you get them out about halfway, then you can stick a short socket on. Okay. And then they'll come out. I mean, you don't have to mess with that computer, the box anyways. Well, be stubborn. I don't care. Lost my screwdriver. Okay, if you got a pry on this pulley for any reason, be careful because it's fiberglass and you'll crack it. This power steering pump is about $300 new, and all it really is just a hydraulic pump off a piece of equipment. There's nothing special about it. I mean, as you can see, it's just a square pump. It's got an inlet and an outlet hose. That's it. Pretty simple. The other bolt you want to take off is the one that holds this bracket on, because it's got the bracket and the inlet hose, which is the low pressure hose, and you need that out of your way. So that would be the next one you want to take out and leave this back top one in, because you need some leverage to get the pump high side line loose. And the other reason you take this top one off, it has a line lock on it for this high side line, and if you wiggle it or pry it with a screwdriver, hard to operate the camera. Okay? And then once you get the line back on, you put that back on. It keeps that line from wiggling loose. Now when you take this top high side line out, it's probably going to have an O-ring in it if it isn't flared. Just kind of bring it out slowly so you don't lose your O-ring, and it's got an O-ring. Okay? I can't see what I'm looking at. See the green O-ring on it? Don't lose that O-ring. If you lose the O-ring and you don't have another one, you dicked. Alright, what I did is I took this double boxed end wrench and I straightened that end out with the torch. Okay? That's the belt tensioner. Loosen the belt and I wedged it up under that bracket. Okay? You want to try not to take this belt all the way off, because this thing is a royal pain in the ass to get back on. So I'm just going to flip it off this top pulley because I need to take that off. Okay, there's the old pump. You can see it was leaking down here in this shaft. And what it was more than likely doing is it was pulling air inside the pump, causing it to growl real bad. So we'll set that one off to the side. Get our new pump up here. Okay. Well, nothing wants to work today. Let's clean this bracket up a little bit before I put it back together. Okay, remember that green hose now. Don't screw up and lose that rubber O-ring. Okay? This line does not have to be so damn tight. You can hear the thread squeak. Snug. Snug. Some of you guys out there just don't know what the hell snug means. Last guy put this damn thing on. Let me get the belt back on it before I put this line on, because this one's kind of a pain. Okay. Put your belt back on the bottom. slack out of this thing here. There we go. Got some slack. Still not going back on. Hold on. Okay, got it now. Make sure you put this clamp so it's easy to get to. The last person that put it on upside down, so it was, yeah, just flip it around and get to it. I like having it straight up and down. And the back's got a big bite to it tonight. Okay, now remember your line lock and your hose bracket. Okay, don't forget these two because they keep the line out of the belt. Let's get those on. Alright, before this thing sounded like it had a Pete Jackson gear drive on it. And it's got some pretty ugly fluid in it. So let's start it up and see if it whines. See if it whines. A whole lot whining. A little bit of air in it. You can see a little air bubble. Let it go away after you run it for a little bit. Cool. Now we're just going to clean it all off. Yeah, so it gets too hot. And that's it.